Hello, I'm Phyllis. I'm back with more tips and sewing instructions. When I made my decision, when I chose to make this bag, I wanted to have a little accent. The design is beautiful, but with these little accent pieces on the side, it just makes it look a little classier. To add the accent pieces to the side, you want to line up right sides together. Now this piece doesn't look straight. I'm not going to use this piece for this instruction. Okay, this piece, the black pieces don't really have a right side or a front. This does. So we're going to sew what we think is the front side of the black strip to the front side of this. If you're confident, you don't have to pin this together. Where are my pins? What happened to my pins? Here they are. You don't have to pin them, but I'm going to, because I'm going to show you one thing. And here's a tip. When you're sewing down this strip this way, the tendency is for your material to slip slide. And what you'll end up with is this material will actually want to slip off this way. So I do like to put a pin at this end so that it doesn't start. And it does it so slowly. You don't even know it's happening. And then you get here and you say, oh, I've been off all this time. I didn't realize it. So we're going to go and sew these on. I was taught by my mother that if you put your pins in straight this way, and I did not put this one straight, if you put your pins in straight this way, your sewing machine will actually sew over the pin without breaking your needle. I try to pull my pin out before I get there, but sometimes it's just not possible to do it and maintain your accuracy. So I put my pins in straight. I can sew straight over. Now we're going to maintain our 1/4 inch seams because that's the way we measured. Accuracy is so important. Make sure that this is perfectly lined up, because you can be off just even a little bit and it's going to throw your measurements way off. Come over here to the sewing machine. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Hope I remember to zoom back out. When my machine comes on, it wants to start me out at a seam stitch of 2.4. I like to take it up to 2.8 or even 3. I line this up, get a 1/4 inch seam, put my paddle to the metal, look, even with it being pinned, it's still trying to get out of line. I did not back tack on those because they're going to be stitched over again. It's not going to be a weak. It's not a weak part. The seam is not going to be stressed. one's not straight. I'm pulling it out. Now, there we go. We're not through. Before we finish, we have to go over here to the ironing board. Let me turn I should have turned the ironing board on. I mean the iron. Well, I do turn the ironing board on so I can see better. Working with this black material is really hard, but I'm making do. There's different philosophies on how to sew your seams. Some people say fold from dark to light, so you would sew it this way. But in my case, because I'm going to have a seam going across here, I don't want that thick. See how that would be double thick? So a good rule of thumb is to spread this. If I can do it, oh boy. Okay. You want to spread your seam allowance open. And make sure that it's flat. Make sure that it's not bunching up on you on the bottom. Bring your iron across here. Make sure it's flat. And yes, I am sliding my iron on this because everything is sewn together. It's not going to cause anything to push to one side because it's sewn. It can't push. We're going to do this other side. My iron's not quite hot yet, but it doesn't really have to be hot for this. There you go. Now, look at this. We've put our accent pieces on there. Turn it over, give it another good ironing. Now we're ready for the other accent piece. I'll just put it here while we're looking at it. And because this is a little rough looking, I'm going to put this accent piece right on. I'm going to make this the top. I'm putting accent pieces. Now look, this is longer than it needs to be. I knew it was going to be longer, and that's why I chose to just, I'm just going to trim it after I sew it. So we've got we're going to put our pins there. It's sticking over a little bit. That's okay. Just make sure it's lined up. That pin's a little bit crooked. Here we go. I'm going to sew that. Whoop. Now, you don't have to do these accent pieces. You can find your material and decide you just want to use it as is. I'm just showing you how to go the extra step if you want to. one thing I forgot to mention, that you need to make sure, and I didn't, you have to make sure that when you sewed it down, that you kept the seam open there. Right? Right. Here we go. We're going to go back over here. I'm going to leave that expanded like that. Maybe you'll see a little bit better what I'm doing. Watch, you can see me fumble a little better. Here we go. See how this keeps this being flattened and this being flattened keeps from having it doubled up. Quilters have different rules for how they handle the seams. There you go. Now we have one front panel completed. I'm going to take this over here. You see what I'm doing? Yes, you can. See, I know that this is too long. I need to make it right. And here we go. With my, I changed the blade on my rotary cutter. I don't know if you saw that video how to do that. I might have an opportunity to do it again, but it's just one little snip. Did you see that? Yeah. And I don't have to go back and forth over it. Oh, okay. What I'm doing is I'm lining my ruler with the side of the material. Whoop. Come on. Didn't mean to snip that far. Come on. There we go. Okay, now we've done it. Now I have to do this to this side. I'm going to go ahead and do this while you watch. Well, no, I'm not. I'm going to stop this because what I'm going to do next is I'm going to, remember I did enough materials for two. This is my top for that. Wow, that, well, and then this is my side for that. I'm going to put this together. And then I have material for another one. So what I'm going to do before I come back is I'm going to put the finish, you know, the accent on this other one that I'm doing. That's all of this for this time. There is no replacement for watching somebody do something step by step. I watch tutorials all the time. And why do I think that my tutorial is better? It isn't. I just think I take more time with you. I care about you. I want you to have a blessed day and get to sewing. Try to catch up to where I am right now. Get your materials cut, okay? I love you. Shalom.